What's going on, everybody? It's Andrew Mayer back here again with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about connections from SQL databases to the internet, specifically vulnerabilities that occur through SQL injections. Basically, a SQL injection is when a user will find a way to modify the SQL query being made by the front end of a website and inject malicious code into the query in order to retrieve data or submit data or change data on a database that is not intended. So I'm going to show you a SQL injection on this website that I've made. So right here we have a website that continues on with the database that I've been talking about in my previous videos, that COVID dashboard. So this website basically just lists the different tables that exist on the database, and it gives an example table. Here we have the behaviors table, which is a bunch of Booleans stored to show somebody's behavior related to COVID-19 risk. And we also have a way that you can insert new data. Oh, that's interesting. So these are just check boxes that make true false values in the database, and we'll insert a new row, which is something that you would see on a normal website. Okay, so then we can submit this form, and then this is just to show the SQL query that the website is sending to the database. Well, that's really great. But if we take a look in the URL, we can see that the data is exposed within the URL, which is a problem because we can go and we can modify the URL. So let's say rather than inserting data into the behavior table, which was the intended purpose of the website, through a SQL injection in the URL, we can change that table. Let's say we want to do the persons table. Now our SQL query says instead of behaviors is persons. Now this won't insert anything into the persons table because those parameters are incorrect, but it's very interesting to see that you can actually do this through the URL. It doesn't stop there, because if we knew that there was a table called users and we wanted to select everything from that, we could do that very easily by inserting a select statement into the URL. And although it's not properly stated with the syntax, we're able to see that you can insert a select all from users statement into the URL. This is a really big vulnerability, and it can be cleaned up with some different abstractions, which I talk about in my dev.2 article, and go more in depth with some other different SQL injection strategies if you had a text box like a login page, for example, or a search bar on a website. SQL injections, while many websites have taken steps to correct these vulnerabilities, it's a big problem and could lead to massive data breaches. This is just a quick example of how SQL databases can be really heavily impacted by SQL injections. All right, that's all I have for you guys today, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.